I don't think I've done it justice about how difficult this event was. This was the 12th session of Men, and on the 5th session, a guy actually died. They have a memorial axe in his honor hung up in the classroom. How is this still legal? So these rubes pay 15K to basically get the shit beaten out of them by ex-Marines.
Get to the fucking pit! Move! Move! You stupid.
Oh, 15K to get waterboarded, exactly. You paid $15,000 to do like a dog shit 75-hour basic training program. That's not even like full. You know, if you do basic training in the army, you actually get paid. Do you know that? You don't pay to go in the army. Yeah, $15K could buy you top-tier personal training, private firearms training, and so much more valuable ways to better yourself. Paying 15K for fake basic training is just moronic. Even the most expensive MMA gym in my city that trains actual UFC fighters is maybe 2K a year. Private firearms training is 1K a year max. You do both and you have a year's worth of training for 1/5 of what they jabronis charge for 75 hours. You can get this abuse for free by playing a Rust wipe, true. Adding this to the MDK thread, so apparently somebody actually died doing this. Do you have what it takes to join a tribe of men focused on leveling up in business and life and as purpose-driven leaders?
Gentlemen, welcome to the project.
God, it's so fucking loud.
Just like you, who know that you're meant for more, who know that you might have areas in your life that you're not performing at your highest level. You know your potential, and there's a higher purpose for you here. The project is not an experience, it's also a process. It's like administering chemotherapy to a cancerous area of the body, and it's going to unearth and expose who you are. The physical challenging that you go through is purpose-driven. Every single evolution is purpose-driven. Every single evolution creates opportunity for 4 things: to lead, to show emotional discipline, to communicate, and to problem solve. So the project is here for a purpose, to help you become the man you know in your deepest heart that you're meant to be. And all we're going to do as instructors over the next 75 hours is administer the project. No different than a doctor would administer chemotherapy to a cancerous body part. You have to be able to control your emotions.
Your emotions are the cancer, and we're going to destroy them.
Because the moment you shut down and you let those thoughts come in, and the self-talk begins, and the self-talk is never, yay, you got this. What did you do? Why did you sign up?
Dude. And they do a fucking gun course too. Like that other clip was him like advancing while holding a pistol. I can't talk about like the hardcore psycho basic training bullshit they're doing, but I can talk about gun stuff. You don't learn to be competent with a pistol after a fucking like 3-day course where you shot for 5 hours, okay? That does not make you a competent shooter. Absolutely not. People who think they need to go through cruel punishment in order to become a better version of themselves. Yeah. Does he not know how chemo works at all? Hey, he's this shit is a poison, so.
This is harder than you think. So I want you to understand that if you're looking to the 75th hour, you've already failed. You know that after some amount of talking here, we're going to take you either out that door or out that door, and there's going to be some level of punishment, some level of suffering, some level of adversity. And I'm here to tell you right now,
I love, okay, a lot of this stuff is really hardcore, you know, like the ice water bath, the fucking fighting, wrestling, all that shit. And then they have that like fucking repeating clip of the dudes just sitting in the seawater. I guess it's cold too. They're like just sitting in the seawater with their arms locked like a fucking daisy chain, and with the dramatic music and the close-ups, and it's like, dude, you're having a fun a fun day at the beach, like chill. That's
the fattest of you. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it. So you have the choice to ring the bell and quit anytime you want. You need to understand the difference between being hurt and injured. You need to control the negative thought patterns up here. You need to go to the next hour, and that's all you need to worry about. Who's heard the phrase, blood is thicker than water? Raise your hand. All of you. That is taken out of context. The true phrase of that is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. What that means is the blood that people spill together, who go through adversity together, is thicker, creates a bigger bond, a deeper bond, than the water of the womb. Meaning people
Oh god. Fucking crawling with like backpacks full of rocks.
My family feels more secure.
Dude, finger on the trigger. I
Was
look
able
at
to
this.
leave with more confidence,
What are they
more
teaching him?
faith in myself.
Finger on the trigger when he doesn't have a target down the sights. Not cool, man. Not cool.
My family feels more secure, and
That's not the worst. At least he is pointed down range. But no. Finger off the trigger until you you're getting ready to shoot. Not when you're moving.
and my finances, I feel like I have more control to be able to make the decisions that will allow me to propel much.
It's not like it's a hard thing, you know, to like lower the lower your finger. I wouldn't say it's on the trigger, but it's not on the trigger guard either. It's in the trigger guard, which is the whole criteria, right? You guys have to hold hands for 3 hours. Timid time starts now. Oh, that would be a fun camp. The real adversity being a white male with 15K that is disposable feels rough, man. True.
Further than I had self-limiting beliefs on those aspects.
You know, I came back from the
And
project.
okay, I'm gonna shit on this hardcore because it's way too fucking expensive for what they offer. But I'm glad it's helping some people. I actually really am. That guy, I believe his story. I believe his testimony is genuine. I'm sure he came out of this having progressed as a person, having learned more about himself, his limits, etc., etc. And those are good things. Those are very good things. Except you can get them for far, far, far less. I had a crazy experience that taught me many great lessons the past few days, so I want to share it with you. About 2 months ago, I was speaking in California, and I was able to connect with Bedros Keuilian, another one of the speakers. He runs an event called the Modern Day Night Project that is essentially a reenactment of Hell Week for Navy SEAL training. It turns you into Elon Musk, yeah. This year, one of my big goals is to do 4 events that push me past where I'm comfortable. I thought this sounded like a fun event to start with. I was still in decent shape from the fall when I got into the best shape of my life, but I also knew I needed to be in better condition to do this. I didn't realize until I did the event that I would have needed to be in the best shape of my life to complete this. I learned so many things in such a short amount of time, so I wanted to share them with you. We started Tuesday at 1 p.m. and here's how it went. 1 p.m. fitness test, 1 mile run, 100 push-ups, 100 squat thrusts, 100 crawl-outs, and another mile run all under 75 minutes. This was the easiest part of the day. Jesus Christ. Next, we loaded up a big backpack and a 10-pound sledgehammer and headed off on a trail run up and down mountains and hills for an hour. When we got to the end of the hike, we began climbing and bear crawling and stomach crawling up a mountain for an hour. Then we did the trail run back. At this point, I felt a sharp pain in my right knee and knew I was in trouble. When we got back to the compound, yeah, look, knees are fucking fragile. This is like this. And I know it. I've hurt both my knees. This is the moment where if you continue, you're probably gonna, like, fuck yourself up for quite a long time. When we got back to the compound, we were introduced to the pit. This thing is a dirt field full of rocks, shards of cement, trenches, and railroad tracks. It's about 50 yards across and 0.6 miles long. We spent the next several hours doing gassers, running sprints across it, mixed in with stomach crawls, crawling on our back, and bear crawling across it. It was also raining the whole time and oddly cold for California. Somebody said it was 39, 45 degrees the entire night. That's Fahrenheit, right? Otherwise it would be way too hot. And also, about every 15 minutes or so, they would have us jump in a horse throw of cold water just so we were soaking wet, covered in mud the full time. After that, we had an hour in the classroom where we had a dry pair of shorts and a shirt to put on. We then went in and jousted each other for about an hour. I got my bell rung pretty good once. That was the most fun part of the night, although exhausting. Then we assumed the night would get easier and maybe we would get some food, but instead it was back out to the pit. This was especially bad because it had begun to pour rain again, so they had us just put our wet, muddy, cold clothes back on. At this point, my knee got tight, having been sitting around, and I knew I would have some issues. We started to stomach crawl again, and after about an hour of not being able to bend my leg, I knew it was time to tap out. Sharp pain in my knee was all I needed to know that I did not want to hurt myself any worse. Yeah, okay, at least this person knows, like, when to stop. That is really fucking important. If you're doing anything this ambitious physically, you need to know when to stop. Honestly, he should have stopped earlier, but it's okay. He knows his limits, I guess. It was exactly after 1 a.m. Total experience for me was exactly 12 hours. I've had a full day to contemplate the experience now, and I'm trying to decide what to make of it all. I have a lot of thoughts. Here are some of them. 1. I had absolutely no business trying to do this event. 5 years ago, I ran a marathon with no training, and I suffered from it for the following week, but I pushed through the pain for the 5 hours and 9 minutes. This was not the same. I couldn't keep pushing because it was a 75-hour event, and the body needs to repair. I did not train as I needed to, and I paid the price. Sometimes in life, we have to try things to know what we want and what we don't want in our lives. I've often questioned if I shouldn't have gone to the military route, and after doing this event, I have never been so sure I did my life exactly the way I should have. I have never been more grateful for the men and women of the military and what they go through for the rest of us. But as I was suffering through for just that one night, I imagined soldiers in Vietnam, World War II, etc., etc. It's essential to have a big why with everything you do. In this case, my why was simply to have a cool experience and see what it was like. That was it. That is why I didn't train properly. I didn't have a big enough why, so ultimately I failed. It's important to listen to your body, and sometimes you have to get your ego out of the way. Yes, that's very important. As I was sitting there, I had to realize that I had to think that permanent damage to my knee just to prove I was man enough to push through this was going to be a decision I would regret for the rest of my life. Yeah, exactly. I don't think I've done it justice about how difficult this event was. This was the 12th session of men, and on the 5th session, a guy actually died. They have a memorial axe in his honor hung up in the classroom. How is this still legal? How is this still legal? Guy, I guess they have rock fucking solid releases they make you sign when you sign up. Like in any other country, I feel like this shit would have been shut down so fast after someone died there. There is no fucking way. I was only there for 12 hours and it was more challenging than the summit day of Mount Kilimanjaro. It's so fucking weird how this guy still has this positive view of it too. Fucking insane. 97% of men do this by indulging, desperately escape from the reality they're living by indulging in the vices they know will make them feel warm and fuzzy on the inside, such as overeating, alcohol, porn, drugs, prostitutes, TV, and video games. Uh-oh. Stinky. A guy died. Oh, so I guess that's an efficient program I'm applying to right now. Yeah. Nature never lies. Picture to the left depicts a chimpanzee and a bonobo ape on the right. When you understand the difference between these two creatures, you'll know why some men can walk into a room and instantly command presence and respect, and why others aren't never noticed or acknowledged. No, is this guy doing right-wing phrenology on fucking ape pictures? This is batshit insane. Like, dude, bonobos are, if a bonobo opens its mouth like this, it's gonna look just as fucking scary as a chimpanzee, I'm pretty sure. Unless they don't have the, like, fangs, but I would be surprised. Neophrenology, do you want to apply? I would get fucking destroyed. Like, no shot. No shot I can deal with that, let's be real. Weak chimps don't get to mate or eat, so they die out. And evolution takes its role. For the bonobo, life's comfortable. Any fights that do break out are usually stopped by the female bonobos and abruptly forgotten. Sex is readily available, and most of their time is spent masturbating and playing around. The way of the chimp is based on strength, courage, honor, and brotherhood. The way of the bonobo is based on weakness, pleasure, full-time relaxation, and fun. Dude, you're not really selling this well to me. I don't want to be a chimp. I want to be a bonobo. I want to be part of, like, a fucking matriarchal, sex-driven polycule. I'm okay with that. The world we exist in today seems to be more in line with the way bonobos live their life. But for the majority of human existence, we lived in a world more aligned with the way chimps live their life. This guy's chimping out. Okay. I wanna hit up their, like, social media instead of doing the whole, like, sales pitch. Will you make the decision to be average or extraordinary? Let's see, will you?
Once you get to the top, you take a breath and you look for another battle to acquire. Come on. Let's go. Get around there. Come on. I don't need to yell and degrade you. Come on. Just put out. Now start going down the hill. Give me your arm. Come on, brother. I got you. Let's go for a ride. Go, get down there.
He just fucking
Once you get to
eats
the
him
top,
down
you
the
take a
hill.
breath And you look for another
I love
balance
it.
to acquire. Come on. Let's
I
go.
love
Get
it.
around there. Come on. I don't need to yell and degrade you. Come on.
The guys behind, they're fucking suffering, okay?
Give me your arm. Come on, brother. I got
I
you.
just love how he's like, he's so fucking dead.
It's very different when you are beat down physically.
Oh, there's a
and
stupid
mentally to
like
the point
Instagram filter.
where you can't even do basic math because you're so mentally exhausted from the sleep deprivation.
It's the human centipede. That's the real secret of the training program. It's the fucking human centipede.
You're so exhausted from the lack of calories and the physical exertion you've been
Actually
getting. In
based.
that moment, that's when you figure out who you are. When things get tough, do you give up? Do you quit? Or do you push through and power through? When you're a leader of your team,
I
and your
wanna
team's
do
not
this now.
performing the way it's supposed to, are you putting
Now we know why they're covered in mud. It's not mud.
fingers, or you take in extreme ownership? In those moments, that's when you figure out who you are. Now relate that back to your everyday life. As a father, as a husband, as a coworker, as a boss, where are you lacking? As men, we're lacking somewhere. You are. There's no way you're perfect. It's our job as men to overcome that, figure out what that is, and fix it. That's exactly what the project will do. It's going to help you.
Gentlemen, welcome to the
New
project.
15K donation goal. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. IRL streaming this would be fucking hilarious, but also really sad. I would die.